around and disregard it. Sweep you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started, it's the hardest. Talk around, don't disregard it. Sweep you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started. Yeah,
get your boots ready. We're about to go on a trip where we wrestle, nobody settling or calling it quits. You're here for the grit, betcha this stuff is amazing. You're stumbling? Welcome to the bump in the apron. Step into it, the hardest part of the ring. Here to bring fun, yeah, and this art he is king. It's the best thing, making sure you don't tap out. Don't go soft with the hardest podcast out. And it's not just another one, it's clear. Off the rest, in this content, none contest. Take the nonsense off the steps. You know it's nothing but pure gems when it's coming off the chest. Get it? Now it's time to sit and relax. Get your mind blown away, ain't no skipping this track. Have you paying more attention, no listening gap. Get everything I ever wanted, no giving it back.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Apron Bump Podcast. I'm your host, the hardest part of the ring. Happy belated Thanksgiving, everybody. I know we're about a week out now. Hope everybody had a lovely turkey day. Hopefully you didn't eat too much. I'm just pulling your pud. Yeah. The Bird household, if you were or the Of the Ring household had a great holiday. Lots of mac and cheese, lots of carbs. Took a really nice bowel movement this morning, in case anybody was interested. But yeah, so that's been my day, and now we're here to talk about WWE Survivor Series 2002. About 20 years ago, almost to the day. And man, this is a me. Hold on one second. Suck my ass. I knocked over all my DVDs back there. Tatanka's there to hold it up, but the Native American is not strong enough, I guess. But look what we got here. You see that? Got a little glare action, but you see it, right? Got the old DVD of this show. I don't have a lot of wrestling DVDs, but this is one of them. If you're a long-time listener, or a medium listener of the Apron Bump, you'll know that I did not watch wrestling in 2002, so I was not watching the show live, obviously. But after the fact, once I got back into wrestling, for my birthday and Christmas and stuff, when I would get money from family as gifts, my favorite thing to do was to go to Best Buy, and they had this little aisle where it had a bunch of it was like UFC, it had just sports type DVDs. There's a little section with wrestling, and I got this bad boy because I was like, I didn't watch this show. I didn't watch this era. It'd be interesting to kind of see what I missed. And boy, did I miss a lot, because this Survivor Series show, I would argue, I would say it's definitely my favorite Survivor Series of all time. I think it has a strong argument for being the best one, period. For many reasons. And the same kind of reasons why I say WrestleMania 17 is the best WrestleMania of all time because it offers something for everybody, when it comes to wrestling, because there's people it's like, oh no, the work rate is what matters, and there's other people it's like the work rate is just secondary to the build up, to the promos, to the soap opera segments, and there's people who are like, I just need pure excitement. I don't need the hammer locks or the drop toe holds. Just give me car crash action, because at the end of the day, wrestling is just a redneck soap opera. So there's a lot of different perspectives, and that's, by the way, it's perfectly fine. Wrestling's subjective, just like any other TV show. People have different tastes. If everybody had the same taste, there would just be one channel on TV, and everybody would be watching it. So Not here to argue what's the best type of wrestling, quote unquote, but I say all of that because to me, the best type of wrestling shows are ones that, like I said, they offer different types of things. They have the in-ring stuff, quality in-ring stuff, really exciting, just demolition derby type stuff. You have the soap opera-y storytelling, the great stories to accompany all the action, historic moments, huge stars. And Survivor Series 2002 has all of that because, first of all, just the pure historic nature of this show. It is the first ever Elimination Chamber match. You got Triple H defending the world title against Shawn Michaels, RVD, Booker T, Kane, and Chris Jericho. The first elimination, as we sit here in 2022, they still have a pay-per-view just named Elimination Chamber. So that's a testament to the impact that this match type had on the company and on wrestling as a whole. So that alone is like, wow, this is a pretty big show. But also you got the debut of Scott Steiner, which hindsight, maybe not a big deal, but in the moment, it's pretty huge. You got the return of the Dudley boys. You got Brock Lesnar's first pinfall loss. I don't know, maybe he had like a disqualification at some. I think he did actually. But it's Brock Lesnar's first pinfall loss. And again, in 2022, Brock Lesnar still a focal point of the company, and still a very beating Brock Lesnar in 2022 is still a huge deal. So to see him get beat for the very first time here is certainly is something. When we'll get into it, trust me. But the show, just like I said, it has everything. If you want the work rate, if you want the good in-ring wrestling, we'll look no further than the SmackDown 6. You've heard me ramble about it at pretty much every, Ruthless Aggression era review that I've done, but we have the prime representation of it in this show. You got a 3-way tag team match with all of the SmackDown 6. So you have that. You also have the Cruiserweight Championship match, which is low-key one of my favorite Cruiserweight Championship matches of all time, at least in WWE. But then you also have the hardcore car crash stuff, and you got tables matches, you got hardcore matches. Of course, the Elimination Chamber has a bunch of brutality involved. And you got the storytelling element. Primarily, the one that comes to mind is Big Show and Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman and how his interaction and, affects everything. The trajectories of both Brock and Big Show are very interesting. So you got that. Like you got everything. Women, you got tag teams, you got cruiserweights, you got heavyweights, you got tables, you got Rico, you got Chris Nowinski, you got saliva, you got testicles. This show has everything. I love it. Special place in my heart, and I was very excited to review it with my guest, one of my main homies in the wrestling community, Justin from the GetCho podcast, joins me on this episode to review Survivor Series 2002. Had Justin and the rest of the GetCho boys on to review WrestleMania 18 about a year ago at this point. So go check that out if you haven't already. Brought my boy Just back on to talk some Al Wilson and some other stuff too. But go check out the GetCho podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. They get into a lot of the news and major highlights of wrestling throughout the week. But they also get into some other topics, others, sports and pop culture type stuff. And they do like fun segments, like they'll do like, whoever's on the show, it'll be like wrestler pickup lines, or you have to rap a song about a wrestler, or you have to throw a cookie in the middle of the living room and jerk off on it and then eat it, and then sing Jeff Jarrett's With My Baby Tonight song as you eat it. So they do kind of wacky stuff like that. So if you're into that kind of stuff, go check out the GetCho podcast. They're really good guys over there. Hilarious show. Great follows on Twitter as well. All that info in the description below. And yeah. Oh, hey, by the way, while I have you here, just gonna throw this one at you before we get into the episode here. This will be the last apron bump of all time. No, I'm just kidding. The last apron bump of 2022. I may do like a Q&A episode sometime in December, but other than that, I'm gonna take a little hiatus ski for the rest of the year. But I have a very thick archive of episodes. And for example, if you like the Ruthless Aggression, maybe you've missed a few episodes, maybe you're just jumping in for the first time, you can go to apronbump.com and you can go to the episodes tab at the top, and you can select any era, any promotion, any company that you are interested in hearing me babble about. So for example, you can go to the episodes tab and you can select Ruthless Aggression era, and that'll bring you to all of the episodes, all of the Ruthless Aggression shows that I've covered in chronological order. So it'll lay all of that out for you on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. Ring of Honor, I also cover TNA, Progress Wrestling, all the golden eras of those companies, as well as the Monday Night Wars, ECW. Do a lot. If there's like a timeline that you're like, well, I'm gonna skip this one this week from the hardest part of the ring, I invite you to try something new and just delve deep, balls deep into my archives. And while I'm gone, feel free to listen to past hardest part of the ring. What else? Give this video a like if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe, comment. I don't know. Comment your favorite Thanksgiving food. And if it's stuffing, just turn this off right now. I don't want any part of your ears. Just kidding. Kind of. But yeah, I think that's about all. I think I'm done babbling for now, huh? How's my hair? By the way, the last episode I had like one hair like in my face, and I couldn't sleep this past week because of it. So I have a little monitor right here. How's Daddy looking? Oh, you guys are still here. Survivor Series 2002 with myself and Justin from the GetCho podcast. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Look at you. Yeah. Look at you. I feel like the medical field's like you're only so human. Like you're kind of just property sometimes.
Oh, dude.
Because you gotta be there.
Especially during the pandemic, that's exactly how I felt. I felt like just garbage.
Yeah, you know. There's worse things though.
Yeah, there's worse. I mean, maybe not like the worst garbage, but at least recyclable. Like that's the upper echelon because you get reused again.
Okay, so it's not Survivor Series 1990. What's a bad Survivor Series? I feel like most Survivor. It's not like probably one of the recent ones. Probably like
I would have to say like like around like 2010, like towards the end of the what's that called, the Ruthless Aggression era, like when they started incorporating ECW more. And
well, let's see, like I don't think that's as bad as like the brand versus brand stuff they've been doing like the past couple of years.
Oh yeah. I would. Okay, you're right. So I would say like.
So you don't even remember that because it's so forgettable. Yeah. So you're saying
even like when he started wearing the shirts.
Okay. Yeah. Just so you know, right? Just so you know. But saying that your job is like 2002 garbage, not 2014 garbage. So it's like good, right?
Yeah.
Probably doesn't make any sense, but
it's good.
It's a segue. It's a segue.
Are we recording? I had no idea.
Yeah. Just try to get all your personal information just so I can have it.
Listen, do you want my social security number? I can give it to you. Everyone.
Yeah. Which ethnicities don't you like? Just let it rip. Just come on. We could just
the Chartiri, the Chartiri from Avatar. Is that the name of the group?
I don't know. I've never seen Avatar. I've seen The Last Airbender. I haven't seen the blue ones.
Oh, yeah.
I've only seen the porn.
The porn version of Avatar. That's kind of crazy.
No, I mean I've seen the thumbnail, and I did the little scroll over, where you could like get a little glimpse of it, and I was like, nah, that's safe for me.
That's not your thing. That is weird though. If they had to if the porn did follow the premise of the actual Avatar movie, because the Avatar, you're an avatar, so it's like you're having to watch someone pretend to have sex in a fake alien body. You know, okay, anyway, what?
It's like a mind orgasm. It's a whole different thing. We don't kink shame here, though. So
No, we don't.
if that's
kink
your
shame.
thing, no, you love
Hey.
to watch blue people fuck. But speaking of which, we got no blue people fucking here, but we got Survivor Series
Yeah.
2002. Did you get a chance to check out the show?
Dude, this is I know you when you reached out, you gave me a list. I automatically picked this one just because like this was a big one for me. Yeah, HBK coming back. This was like basically prime SmackDown 6 at this era. A lot of like rumor signings were coming. It was definitely making that turn from like the Attitude Era, like full fledged into the Ruthless Aggression. Like it was in that middle portion. And I mean, first Elimination Chamber. So I mean, this is definitely a good watch. Definitely.
Where does this for you rank among all Survivor Series? Because to me, this is definitely at least top 3.
Let's see.
Is that a 1995 hoodie you got on?
This is 98, 88.
88?
88, the original.
Damn. All right. Respect.
I gotta say, I don't know. You know what? This is probably top to bottom the best one. You know what I'm saying? Because there's been Survivor Series where they've been like only portions of the show were like good, right? But 97's was up there for me. That's the screw job, obviously. The Montreal.
Right. Yeah.
97's is up there. This one is up there.
2003 is a really good one too. That's
2003.
Shane versus Kane. You had
that's the
Stone Cold's career.
Yeah, there you go. The Stone Cold storyline. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also good too. Yeah, I would have to say those 3 I'm thinking of right now. I think 98 is also good too. That's the tournament.
That was the
When Rock wins.
Ooh, yeah. What is Highway? Oh, Highway to Hell is SummerSlam, right?
Highway to Hell is SummerSlam. Yeah.
But that was Madison Square Garden, which
Also
ties
Madison
in
Square.
here.
Yep. Shout out.
Shout out MSG. Shout out. I love the old setup for Madison Square Garden shows. The like
you're talking about with the center,
stage.
right?
Yeah. What'd you think of that? I always enjoyed it.
Do you also like MSG in your food? Since we're both, of the Asian descent,
Well, we both have MSG just running through our veins naturally. So this is how it works.
I mean, listen, we're still alive. We're still.
You're
alive.
a doctor, right? That's what you said earlier.
Our skin complexion's still good. It's still smooth.
Dude, look at that is
Come
one thing.
on.
We have tiny
Look at that.
wieners,
Look
but
at
smooth
that.
skin.
Look at that.
But yeah, man. Speaking of smooth skin, well, I guess first of all, I guess we could kind of talk about the show overall, but
Or you don't want to keep
you.
talking about skins? We could keep talking about skins.
I mean, I feel like it'll come up, naturally throughout the show. It always comes back to foreskin, but yeah, man, I agree. This is definitely it's interesting that there's no like traditional Survivor Series elimination matches. Although I guess with the Elimination Chamber, like you said, the first ever, kind of has that elimination aspect, and even the tag title match is elimination. So they weave their way.
I mean, the table match was also sort of.
Yeah, that was elimination too. But you know what?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about anything. There was tons of elimination here. But yeah, that tables match. We have a 6-man tag team elimination match. So we got the team of Bubba Ray Dudley, Spike Dudley, and Jeff Hardy versus the team of Rico and 3 Minute Warning, the team of Jamal and Rosie. When I was watching this, I was like, damn. How awesome would it be if Jamal and Rosie were in the bloodline?
Yes.
What could have been?
And not to mention too, like when you're watching Jamal and Rosie too, there's a couple of times where like Jamal is like doing his thing, and you just see Roman. There's a couple instances where he's doing some moves, especially the spear. Like you're just like, yo, that is like Roman right there. And like even the look that he has right now is like kind of Roman-esque, and you're watching it, and it's true. Like I know, not dipping into the current state of wrestling right now, but like Ava Reigns, Rock's daughter, had just made her debut on NXT, right? And the question on Twitter is, because they always want to talk shit, is that, oh, how is she gonna be? I want to see her wrestle. But like, as you know, especially if you watch Apron Bump, if you watch all the episodes, what Samoan is a bad wrestler?
Ooh.
Right?
What's the dude that was in Randy Orton's stable?
Wasn't that Snuka's son? Like, I feel like
yeah, Manu, is that what his name was?
something like that. Yeah,
He wasn't
Manure?
very good.
Yeah.
Manure. It's more accurate.
Yeah, he wasn't that good.
Maybe he wasn't Samoan. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe they picked up the wrong baby from the hospital. That's got to be it. He's probably like Tongan or some shit.
It's French, you know. Maybe it just didn't mix right, you know.
You know, Haku, Andre the Giant, they're kind of similar complexions. So, no, I get it. It makes sense. But yeah, this opening match here was super entertaining. I mean, it's a tables match. You got 6 people running around there. You got big-ass Samoans. You got the Dudleys. You got Jeff Hardy jumping off things. Like, it's a recipe for success. Crazy spots throughout. Any in particular stick out to you?
Well, there's a couple spots where I thought that they kind of like there's a spot where Simon Dean, I think, he was trying to attempt like a splash, and he kind of like just missed. He kind of like fucked up his balance on the top rope.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Rico's not Simon Dean, is he?
Oh God, yeah. What am I talking about? Like, sorry, they're like the same person. They're like the same person. Yeah, Rico.
No, like my mind went blank for a second. I was like, wait, are these the same people? I don't think they are.
No, they're not, but they had very similar wardrobes. But like, yeah, Rico got on the top rope, and it looked like he was trying to do like a splash, but he just missed like his balance, and they just like fucked it up.
So that's like a famous botch, which I think they cut out of Peacock, and I think they cut out of the DVD too. So Rico was up on the top rope for like a long time, and I guess there was a miscommunication because this is right after Jeff eliminated Rosie by doing the swanton off of the little entranceway.
Yes.
And after that, Rico goes to the top rope in the ring, but Jeff is supposed to shake him off, but Jeff just went crashing through a table off of a balcony. So like, how is he just supposed to get up and run to the like? So
right. The timing was off.
I think Rico even like yelled for Jeff. Too, that you could find where it's like the uncut version, the uncircumcised version. So yeah, but that was probably the most famous part of this match.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense because like. It's funny because I see this is the kind of reason why I hate Peacock, right? It's like they should have just left that shit in there because I know if it was a network, it would have been in there. But like, yeah, so that and then like they did like this weird spot with Spike Dudley, right? The 2 Samoan guys. It's like a reverse flapjack, but onto the table, and it just looked like Spike Dudley just had to take it. Like there was no way that he could just take care. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, do you know what I'm talking about? Like,
he had no say in what was happening. He was going wherever those big fellas wanted him to go.
For real, and it's like
they had him in like a powerbomb position, and instead of throwing him forward, they like pendulum him in the other direction. That was badass.
Like he fucked up his chest and his neck. Like I'm just like, dude, just had to take that. You know what I'm saying?
And the table just like a million. It wasn't just like a break in the middle. It was like
right. So it just exploded. You know what's funny about this match too is like the pacing. I think like at that time because 3-minute warning was just such a gimmick tag team. Is that like you know at the time I guess like nobody really appreciated their movesets, but they were guys they could really run. They could really run the ropes. Like watching it back now, and I don't know if you know, but like wearing baggy denim jeans is not easy to move in.
Hey, back in the day, man. I mean, I rocked the cargo denim shorts.
Oh, the extra pockets. Yeah. Oh,
man, could have so many tools in there. Just the only tool was in the leg holes. So,
calm down.
I can't. But yeah, well, I was gonna mention earlier, Jamal. You said he reminded you of Roman Reigns. I always think of Jamal when I see Solo Sikoa. Because the way he moves, I guess Umaga, Jamal, I mean, they're the same person, obviously, but they move pretty much the same. And Rosie, I mean, obviously it's Roman's brother, but he's like he's his twin, basically, just a bigger twin. It's bizarre to see.
But I don't know. Okay, like, what's his name? What's his name goes on to be Umaga. He must have slindered down to become Umaga. right? I mean, he was still massive.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess. Although he,
A
like you
little
said, he's
bit.
wearing baggy clothes. So
Yeah, it's amazing to see what happens to him in a couple years from after this. He becomes basically a full-fledged star afterwards. Um, it is a shame what ends up happening to both guys. You know.
yeah, no, it really is. Yeah, it's crazy that Jamal and Jeff Hardy are in like a main event storyline in a couple of years. Like you would
Yeah,
never have
right.
thought that while watching this match. It's,
Now I have a question.
3 inches
Did you think
flaccid too. Huh?
did you think that Jeff Hardy like he wanted to do the same spot that he did at at Royal Rumble?
Yeah, 2000
Okay.
against
Yeah,
the
in
Dudleys,
2000.
probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that like now seeing it again, do you think that he just like overdoes it with these spots? Or do you think he just loves to do it?
Well, I'm trying to think of when the last time before this he did anything crazy. I guess because they had like a random TLC match on SmackDown, like
Right.
late '01.
Right.
I feel like because like you look today, like people like Darby Allin, I feel like he does. I think he does it overboard. I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like every week with him. But Jeff Hardy, at least he for the most part saved it for at least pay-per-views.
Okay.
And I guess at this point Jeff's not like a huge. He's kind of like lost the momentum off the Undertaker match. I feel like the ladder match. And he's kind of just fallen into
that
like
was right. Yeah. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. They never really capitalize on that, which is weird.
No, it was like afterwards. It was just like, okay, he's just gonna go back to doing tag team shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Jeff Hardy he's like just now starting to like show the wear and tear on his body.
Oh, yeah.
He was working for so long, like with that style, and it took him forever because he never really got injured. I'm sure he got banged up, but never not like serious injuries. So, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess
I don't know. I always thought that like he would always knew like, okay, it's the pay per view. Okay, I gotta get the hard cam where the crowd is, and I'm gonna do my swanton. And it's like, I know there's like other moves that he has, but I think in this match, like they did get a surprise because this was like at the beginning of the brand split,
pretty much, yeah. A couple months after.
a couple months after, and I think like that shocking thing where they split up the Dudleys, right, which is like a weird thing for the moment, and then they come back and
Dudleys
they
and
have
the
a
Hardys.
reunion.
Yeah. That was an awesome spot. Like I've seen this show, so obviously I expected it to happen. But I feel like if I was watching live, I'd be like, oh shit, because Reverend Devon. Because the whole thing with Reverend Devon, he like started out as Vince McMahon's like I forget what the title was, but he was basically an extension of Vince McMahon. But then Vince basically appointed Eric Bischoff as the GM of Raw, and Vince kind of like was off TV, so Devon was just kind of there, like doing nothing, like random tag teams with like Farouk and just kind of not really doing anything. It breaks up with Batista. Batista goes to Raw, so Devon's not doing anything. So it's like Bubba he had like little hiccups of success, but nothing really sustained. So
like he was still tagging with like Spike Dudley sometimes, like trying to do what they could with the Dudley boys.
Yeah.
And I think it was stupid to break them up. Like I don't understand. Like even now, I don't understand the purpose of them breaking up.
Is that? I mean, maybe they saw something in Bubba because Bubba kind of got a push. He got like a world title match against Triple H on Raw.
Oh,
and
yes.
Right, it was like a strap match, I think, because it was on the Raw Roulette show.
Oh my gosh, yeah, hell no, I forgot about that.
That was like
dude. 02, what a time, man.
It's something. It really is just like you never know what you're gonna get with 02.
What a time, dude.
You got lesbians over here. You got necrophilia over here. You got...
Right. Ooh. Old men dating women, sugar daddy storylines. You know, what
dude,
I'm saying?
Dying in her bed.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Are you feeling frisky? But yeah. So ultimately, like you said, Spike gets driven through the table with like a reverse flapjack. Jeff eliminates Rosie off the aisleway with a swanton. Jamal hits a big splash off the top rope through Jeff through a table. Bubba counters a superplex from Jamal and power bombs him through a table. So now it's just Bubba and Rico. Rosie and Jamal get involved. It's no DQ. Right. I guess they can. And then they hit a belly to belly on Bubba. And it's a 3-on-1 beat down, and then in comes Reverend Devon to make the save. Oh, just takes out everybody. Huge pop. I feel like everybody was just like, come on, can we just fucking do the Dudleys again? Like, that's what works.
Right.
Like you said, like, why did they break them up? So, I mean, I got goosebumps watching this. It was a cool moment. And then they did hit the 3D on Rico. First time since the brand split, we've seen this. Right. And yeah, Dudley's win. Dudley's reunited, and Simon Dean's not here. So it's a win-win-win. Every way you look at it.
It was a good opening match, you know what I'm saying? Kind of set the tone for the rest of the night, you know what I'm saying? It was action-packed, just like how most of these matches turn out to be. So, yeah, great opener.
Well, I got a question for you. Are you a testicle?
Yeah, if I have to choose, yeah. Hairless, though. Hairless.
Well, that's obvious, right? It's probably as bald as your head, I would assume. Jealous.
Smooth as egg.
Yeah. But Testicle or Test is not here. He's on a PR tour, and he was sent on that tour by his new marketing manager, Stacy Keebler.
Yeah.
Good old Stacy. She cut Test's hair, gave him some tights, and has dubbed his fans the Testicles. It's fun, right? It's fun. We're having fun.
It's good. It's a good time.
Is it? So we have, by the way, fun fact, every show you've been on of my podcast, there has been a live performance by Saliva. So we got to keep that streak going. I don't know how many.
Dude, I don't know what other pay-per-view we're going to do with it, but Saliva has to be on.
Yeah. I mean, they perform always here and in the world, or at the world. And
in New York, right? The restaurant?
Yeah. Yeah, WWF New York, the rebranded or the renamed version. They show little video packages of the matches as the music plays. I don't know. Do you think this should come back, like live performances of the theme songs?
You know, I mean, at that time, I think they were definitely trying to do something, because I think they were doing stuff with MTV in the early 2000s, right? And I think they just kind of want to still kind of continue that like little. We're cool, actually. We're hip, we have bands, you know. In a way, they kind of still do it, like, you know, with Poppy on NXT. You know.
Yeah. What was that? It wasn't Poppy, but it was an awful performance on NXT with the girl with the big tits. It'll come to me. I can make you fall in love. What's her name? Stupid horror with the tits.
Was she a real artist, or was she a wrestler that was trying?
She makes noise into a microphone. I'm not gonna call her an artist, but
shit, dude, I don't think she was a real artist though. I think she was. Oh
no, she wasn't. I can tell you she's not.
Oh, I mean, I know. Oh shit! Who was that? Oh my gosh! I had to find that out.
We could look it up here. NXT make you fall in love. Who sings it? Ollie J.
There we go.
There it is.
Go.
Oh, so that answers my question. No, they should not bring that back.
No, they should not. Well, I mean, are they at the level of Saliva? No way. But
is Ollie J on the level of Saliva? Now that's a question we need to post to Twitter. I think
they had Machine Gun Kelly, remember, perform live at one point. Remember, and then he got powerbombed by Kevin Owens.
Yeah, he did a few times. He did it also before Rock and Cena.
That's right.
That was something.
That was something. Now he's getting powerbombed by Megan Fox now. So,
do you think he's a bottom? Do you think Megan Fox sticks her stupid
I think
toes inside his board hole?
I think so.
Probably,
I think that's how it gets done. Whatever she does, she might transform it a little bit. I don't know.
Well, anyways, so the Cruiserweight title.
So yeah,
is on the line.
Did you ever want it to go to WWF New York though? Like when you saw those, you're like, man, I wish I could just see what it's like over there.
Not one part of me wants to be there.
No, not even just to check out like what they might have, like food. Like, do they have any special food items named after wrestlers? You know,
they get some Hulk Hoagies, some wait, no,
Mankind fries and fingers.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, no, it'd be like Mankind, like ears, like pig ears.
Oh,
Because his
cauliflower ear. Cauliflower, but it's elephant ear, but it looks like cauliflower.
Let's go. This is, come on. Is anybody listening to this? Somebody make this
Come
happen.
on. Shane mac and cheese. Let's do it.
Oh man, this man don't miss. Come on, give me one more. What would Jamie Noble's food be?
Jamie Noble's food? Oh, let's see.
Or Nydia.
Chicken and waffles. Oh.
Yeah.
Would you say cornmeal?
It'd be like
Did you say cornmeal?
Did I say cornmeal?
What was his name? Nydia, right? His girlfriend was named Nydia?
Yeah.
Grits and Nydia? No, I don't know. No, that doesn't seem right.
Nydia. We'll think of something.
We'll think of something.
But they wrestle. Jamie Noble defending his cruiserweight title against Billy Kidman.
Had the best theme though. This was a good theme. Not too good. Not like better than him.
Of this theme.
Yeah.
It was better than him. Better than the shooting star press that he tried to do. It's absolutely. Yeah, that's a fact. Did you catch the sign that said Nydia is my cousin / sister?
Yes. I couldn't make out I knew it said Nydia is my cousin, and then I couldn't catch the last part because I was just trying to figure out why is Billy Kidman sweating so much.
Was he sweaty? I guess he was, right?
Like he always had the wettest hair, wetter than the Shield. You know what I'm saying?
It's pretty wet.
It's wet. It's WAP.
Speaking of wet, so there was this big ass blood stain on the mat.
Yeah.
And I don't remember seeing that in the last match. But Taz says that Rico cut his arm open.
That's what
on
I
the
heard,
table,
yep.
which I guess could be a thing. But I was like, did a match happen in between and they just cut it or something? I don't know. But
it must have happened if we can only go watch that DVD that you have or the network. But I think he cuts his arm, like you said, and they never show it. They never show it again because they don't show him leaving either, or they kind of edit out him leaving. So that's the only way.
I guess
you
the
can
Dudleys
see,
are the focal point, so it's why would you want to look at Rico?
His hair.
Was his hair anything special? I guess he had the feathery. What do you call that? The widow's peak, maybe.
Widow's peak, something like that. Yep.
Well, Victoria's later, so we're not there yet. But
okay,
we got a cruiserweight match, and I thought this match is really good. I think that this match kind of represents what I always enjoyed about the cruiserweight division. It was just move. It was nonstop. It was really unique stuff too that you typically wouldn't see in WWE at this time, like Yushi Hiroshi's.
Yes.
All sorts of dives to the outside, suicide dives, clotheslines. Jamie Noble hits his Tiger Powerbomb for a 2 count.
Yep.
Kidman hits a top rope face buster.
Yes.
Jamie Noble hits this draping DDT. It's basically Randy Orton's DDT, but from the top rope.
Like a
fucking spike the shit out of Kidman. Yeah. I don't know how Kidman didn't break his neck here.
Oh yeah, the funny thing about this match is that when I watched it again is that Nydia is not really involved too much physically, but some of the stuff that she does outside of the ring just to help Noble is also key in the match too.
Yeah.
They're both of them are agents now, right? They're both agents for WWE.
I think so.
I know
Jamie Noble definitely is. Yeah, Billy Kidman. I know he was at one point. I don't know if he still is. He might be.
Okay, it's kind of crazy to see that what they do here is kind of what's going on now, for the most part.
Yeah.
Different holds. Like you said, the nonstop action. Different maneuvers, counters too. I think this match had more counters than some of the other matches. The pacing I thought was good for two guys. So it's kind of like you get a little taste of how wrestling is now too.
Yeah, no, yeah, because I mean they're agents, so all this psychology that's playing out in this match is the psychology that they hand off to the wrestlers of today. So yeah, that's definitely for sure. But ultimately, Kidman hits his wonky shooting star press, and that's enough to get the win. New cruiserweight champion. Although I'm not sure if Billy fits the weight limit, but who's to say?
Yeah.
I don't even know if they've like definitively like made a weight limit. I don't think it's till Matt Hardy challenges, because they do
Right.
Matt Hardy's like has like drop weight.
Yeah. It was a good match.
And well, after that, we got Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle in the locker room. Now they're arguing because they're a team, right? Former tag team champions at this point. They lost the tag team titles on SmackDown to Edge and Rey Mysterio in a 2 out of 3 falls match, which was a spicy hot match.
It was good.
But Kurt and Benoit are debating who's the team captain, and they don't really come to a conclusion. Kurt Angle calls them bosom buddies at some point. I forget what the context was. Kind of lost me after that. But then they hug, and no, it's Chris Benoit. Kurt's like, can we get along? And Benoit puts out his hand for him to shake it. And Kurt's like, partners don't shake hands. Partners gotta hug. And then they hug and come and all that stuff. So.
If only Chris Benoit took that advice to life, you know.
You gotta hug instead of murder your family? Is that where you're getting at?
Yeah, you know, subtly, you know.
I mean, that would be better.
That would be better.
I would prefer that, yeah. But in hindsight.
Well,
Well, that gives us to speaking of Widow's Peak, we got Victoria backstage. She's caught on camera. Do you remember what this camera was called?
Was this like not GTV? It was like some other one.
Similar.
Right?
No, it has a fun name.
It was similar, right? What was it?
It's F View.
Oh, what the hell did it stand for?
Well, it's like FU, like fuck you.
Oh my god!
But it sounds
it's
F
okay.
View, the word
right.
V-I-E-W,
it's like
it's
It's
F-U.
a play on words type of thing.
A double menage a trois, as some may say.
Okay. You know, the one thing I noticed though, not to cut you off, sorry. The one thing I noticed, right? It's like it's supposed to be like a hidden camera, right? Is that what they're going for?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, is it really hidden when there's a hole cut out in the wall for the camera to dip in?
I mean, it could have been in like a locker. Well, another thing you gotta think about is Victoria. I mean, she's a little, she's not the sharpest crayon in the drawer. So like, she's a little wacky. Is the idea here?
Okay.
I mean, she thinks a mirror is talking to her. So I don't think
true.
she's with it enough to ascertain, there's a hole in the wall. Maybe I should, maybe.
Yeah, okay. She doesn't think, oh, this is like some fake, whatever room with just a hole, for something to come through.
It's clearly, for her to get ready, put makeup on, whatever the ladies do. So, but Victoria's, because she has a match with Trish later. I don't think it's the next match, is it?
Right.
It is. Yeah, it is. So the whole backstory is I guess Victoria and Trish were fitness models together back in the day before Trish came to WWE, and WWE chose to bring in Trish and not Victoria, so Victoria feels slighted by this. It's like, why'd you choose her, not me? So she's gotten a bit unhinged, and she's talking to this mirror, which F-View catches, and she's like, a mirror on the wall, who's the prettiest of them all? And then the mirror says that Trish is the prettiest. So Victoria smashes the mirror, and there's like a random poster behind her that she rips, and then, she's not well. Victoria, she's not well. But that's good thing she has a hardcore match to
release all her tension.
Yes, that's what any of us need. A few kendo sticks and trash can lids. But
I was gonna say, not just any like weapons, like already in a trash can, like that's already tied to a pole. Like, don't bother even going underneath the ring. It's already set up. It's already, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Because you don't want them, not knowing where anything is. we're dipping our
Right.
toes in the women's revolution. We're not all the way in. But Trish is defending her title here against Victoria. And like you said, there's trash cans strapped to the ring posts.
Yeah.
With what was in there? There was a broom in there, I think.
I know there was a 4x4 at one point. 4x4. I think a fire extinguisher, right, was in there too in one of them.
I think so. It might have been under the ring, but
Okay, that was
either
under
way.
the ring. Okay, a kendo stick, like you said. I think they were in both.
There was an ironing
both-
board. An ironing board.
Yes,
because
iron
women.
board. Oh my god, I didn't even think of that.
We got to make
How-
them feel comfortable. So we got to give them things that they're used to
Oh,
using. It's a joke, ladies. If any ladies listen to this still.
crazy.
But yeah, man, because when I think of this match, I think of all those trash can lid shots that they were hitting each other with, because those were ringing throughout the arena.
No, dude, that's the one thing I was gonna say about this match is that, like, I know this is early in the women's like evolution, but these two were going at it, you know. And I know
Dude,
the previous matches that they had good chemistry, so
Mhm.
they were really laying in all the shots too. In this
Yeah.
match, I thought this match was really, really brutal for some of the stuff that they were doing.
Yeah, I forgot how hard hitting this was. I mean, it
Mhm.
was because the women. I mean, back then the women obviously they were portrayed, as models and just the
Right.
visual aspect. The wrestling was very secondary. But man, you watch these women's matches back then, and even if it's not the most athletic, which a lot of them are, but even if it's
Yeah.
not, like they're working their asses off in there. So, and a lot of
Oh,
the
yeah.
matches are better than. I mean, Molly Holly's around. You got
Yes.
Jazz, Jack. Like they have a ton of
Ivory, I
talent.
think, is still having
Yeah.
matches at this time too with Right to Censor.
Or
Or I think they're about to end.
right?
Yeah, Nydia is having good matches too.
But yeah, this is a good one, man. What else? I think we got all the weapon. Yeah, broom, because Victoria's a witch, I guess. So she like hangs Trish like hanging from the top rope.
Oh yeah, the
Broom.
hanging spot. Yep.
Gotta have one of those. But ultimately the finish comes when so Victoria's like under the ring. Trish goes to pull her out, but gets hit with the fire extinguisher or the smoke or whatever from the fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
And Victoria gets in there and hits just a regular suplex and gets the win. But did you know that like Trish kind of kicked out like right at the end?
Yeah.
I wonder if this was a botch or not.
So that's what I was thinking too, because her finisher was the Widow's Peak, right?
I don't know if she had established that at this point, but I don't think
Oh,
a
she didn't?
suplex
Oh,
would have
okay.
been it. No.
Okay. So then, see, I can't remember if the suplex was only her finisher move, if she had already established
I
the
don't
Widow's
know.
Peak or some other move. But yeah, I mean, to lose just by suplex, I guess, after being disvisioned by your fire extinguisher, I guess it's enough.
Yeah, I guess. A fire extinguisher is enough to keep you down.
Yeah.
I've never been hit in the face with one, so I wouldn't know. So who am I to say? But yeah, fun little glimpse into what women's wrestling would be. It'd be a while because this is not a very regular thing, but
1,000, yeah.
good to see what they're capable of. But we got a little change in pace in this next one. Got the WWE Championship on the line. You got the champion Brock Lesnar versus the Big Show. Who daddy? And Paul Heyman's here, of course. A very integral part of this, you would say. But yes, the whole deal here. So Brock has just come off his matches with The Undertaker. They had the Hell in a Cell match, the previous pay-per-view. So Lesnar's still kind of reeling from that. And the Big Show was just traded from Raw to SmackDown. And immediately he made an impact by throwing The Undertaker off the stage and calling out Brock Lesnar, basically. And they've had various brawls on SmackDown. Paul Heyman's like, Brock, Big Show's too big. You can't pick him up. You can't suplex him. You can't F5 him. And that's pretty much all Lesnar did in this match was suplex the shit out of Big Show, which was amazing to see, especially at this point, because I don't feel like he had done that on TV, at least.
Not yet. No, I don't think so.
Hadn't picked up the man the size of the Big Show. But yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of chicanery here at the end.
Right.
But as far as the match itself, what'd you think about it?
You know, the funny thing about this is that, like, I was going back and watching this, right? And I'm thinking, okay, like at the time, he's just coming off of the Hell in a Cell match with Undertaker, right?
Yeah.
And so Brock is kind of like a legitimate, champion at this time, and he's doing things to Big Show, and to me, I think this was Big Show's. Even though he ends up winning, I think this was kind of a low point for him in his career. Like he really wasn't doing much.
No, he was absolutely like
He
not
was
a
gone,
jobber,
right?
but kinda. Because like, and I was thinking about this like last time I covered this era. Like he hasn't really done anything of significance
Yes.
since that WrestleMania main event in 2000. Because
Yeah.
he's had like little like peaks, like very quick ones, but then he always just falls back down to like hardcore title stuff or
Mhm.
just random segments, like almost comedy kind
Right.
of guy.
Right.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. He was at his low point, and I guess him going to SmackDown kind of revitalized. It was like kind of like a clean slate, and
Yeah.
he just like he like took out the Undertaker and stuff like that. So yeah, no, you're right on that one.
Because I think when we did WrestleMania 18, shout out, he
Shout
was at the restaurant, right?
Yes,
He wasn't
yeah,
even
and that
at
was-
WrestleMania.
No, he held up some ugly baby at
Yeah.
the world. That's all he did. It's crazy, man. And I think that was actually like a storyline. I forget, it was like his match with Stone Cold or something a few months later. It was like, I should be in the main event.
Oh shit! Really?
Just got beat and then
They're like, yeah, okay,
went
we're
back
gonna
to
put
the
you in the
bottom.
restaurant. Have fun.
half off. Here's
No,
some
but
cookie, you
yeah, like,
asshole.
cause like when you go look back at this match, like Brock is doing everything in this match for Big Show.
Yes.
And it's like at the time I kind of like saw that maybe they wanted to, because I think this is when Brock was like, not saying that he wanted to take a break or he wasn't like ready to take the next step forward, or he was legit injured with his like rib thing, but
Mhm.
it didn't seem like Big Show was ready to be a champion anyway. So like it was kind of like the match was like, it was a showcase to show Brock Lesnar's like strength and power,
Totally.
but to have Big Show win was kind of like confusing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the manner that it happened, but that's even kind of a weird choice as well. I mean, so the match, like you said, the match is just Brock Lesnar throwing the Big Show around.
Right.
It's a back suplex. I like how it kind of escalates, it crescendos. First it's a back suplex, then it's a full-on German suplex, then it's a belly-to-belly suplex, and then finally hits him with an F5. Crazy. Goes for the pin. But then right before the ref can count 3, Paul Heyman pulls out the referee. Swerve, bro. And I kind of alluded to it. I don't know if I did, but on SmackDown in the build-up, Brock has kind of been like brushing Heyman to the side. Like Paul's like, don't attack the Big Show. Don't go call him out. Brock's like, oh, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And so I guess they built the resentment over time, which makes sense. I like how they did that. I also like, I can't remember if it was it was right before this match. It was a segment with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar backstage, and Heyman was like, I promise, Brock, my client is going to walk out the WWE champion, but he never said Brock Lesnar was. So that was a fun little, especially in hindsight watching it, I was like, ooh, he did it.
Right. And this is like, because like this is the first time he turns on Brock, right? Because like later on in day 1, I think it is when he actually officially says that he's a Roman guy.
These hoes ain't loyal. Is what we're getting at.
Especially, thought Heyman, no.
Man, he really he's the meme with the white girl with the guys in the black and the white shirts. That's the bloodline, and they're surrounding Paul Heyman. So
Hell no.
But anyways, so Big Show, speaking of gangbang, so Brock Lesnar chases Paul Heyman around the ring, chases him into the ring, but runs into a steel chair to the gut, to the ribs, to the injured ribs from the Big Show, followed by a choke slam onto the chair. Big Show. So Brock Lesnar in his, what has it been, 6-7 months in the WWE, has beat The Rock for the title. He's taken out Hulk Hogan. He's beat The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell. But what's his kryptonite? The Big Show in jeans. Beats the Big Show, or beats Brock Lesnar, new champion, The Big Show, the guy that was holding up children at WrestleMania a few months ago. is now your champion of the world. So
It's so funny too, because like Brock basically does the chocolate slam himself.
yeah, he really does do everything in this match.
He does. He you know what I'm saying? Like when the chair happens, he kind of oversells it because Big Show just kind of just holds it there.
Yeah.
And then the choke slam comes and he basically just jumps right into it, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
Big Show, man. God.
At least it wasn't like clean by any means. I mean, Brock is coming into this match with a broken rib. There's a chair to the ribs, a choke slam on the ribs. Paul Heyman getting involved is like, I guess, weird way to kind of break Brock's streak, I guess, because this is his first pinfall loss in WWE, which is something.
Something.
But yeah, I don't think Big Show's champion for very long. I think Brock or Kurt Angle, I think, wins from at some point. I don't remember exactly when.
Because then they lead into the Mania 19 match. You know.
Yeah.
It's funny too. Like going back on it before we get into the next thing is that like this is the second time Big Show has won the title at Survivor Series. I think he replaced Austin in '99.
Yes, he did. It's showtime.
Yep. Yes.
I remember JR's call on that one.
Yes, and you know, because he was in that horrible storyline where they said his dad died.
Did you? I almost forget sometimes that was a WWE Championship storyline. I don't know if at that point it was, but I know there was one pay-per-view. I think it was like Armageddon 1999 or something. Mm-hmm. It was Big Show versus Big Boss Man for the WWF title, which is just wacky to think about.
Yes, I think it was after Survivor Series.
Yeah,
that was his title defense. Yep.
Man, how times
What
change.
A time, man.
What a time. And hey, what a time for Al Wilson. Am I right or am I wrong?
There's always a time for Al Wilson.
Him and his new fiance, Dawn Marie, are in the crowd watching. I mean, they're just in there watching. But any fond memories of this storyline?
I mean, at the time, I know that it was just to get cheap pops and stuff, and for something for Dawn Marie to do because she was.
How dare you? They're in love, Justin.
I mean, yeah. I mean, money. I guess it's you know, they're both.
I mean,
winning.
he's at least got to be packing. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's the Blue Chew was in its early stages at that time, so I'm pretty sure he was an investor.
That's it.
So
that's the one.
That's the one. And I mean, Dawn Marie also kind of like, you know, at that time she was coming off of the ECW, you know, thing, and so she needed something to do. So she's doing Al. So.
Well, what is there for Dawn Marie to do?
Yeah, because I don't remember her doing anything else other than this, right?
I don't remember anything. Maybe some low level, because she's on SmackDown, so it's not even like there's a women's title to fight for.
No, and she wasn't a wrestler on ECW either.
I will say though, Dawn and Tori had a match at No Mercy 02 that was actually pretty decent. It was a lot better than you would expect. Like that just because I mean the women wanted to wrestle, so
okay. That was before this, right? No Mercy.
Yeah, it was the month before this. But yeah, so that's a thing. But then with that kind of stuff, you also get some good wrestling. We got the WWE tag team titles on the line in a 3-way elimination match.
Yes.
It's the SmackDown 6. So you got the champions, Edge and Rey Mysterio, versus the team of Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle versus Los Guerreros. Hoo-wee. So this it was honestly this was spicy hot fire. It was kind of clunky at some points, but for the most part, it was I mean, it was even hard to take notes on it. I mean, there was so much shit going on.
I had to watch it twice just to like make sure like I can. I was like, make sure I didn't miss anything because there's a bunch of moves in here that like I don't even think you only seen like a couple times, right? Like there's a spot where I think it's Edge and Benoit. Like I think Benoit is ready to put Edge into a belly to the back suplex, and Eddie gets on the top rope, which he does a somersault from the top rope, and so. He grabs on the edge, but then like it maneuvers into a super suplex, like that combination of the three guys and the timing. Yeah. It's so good. And like the stuff that they do with there's a move with Angle and Chris Benoit, where they kind of like dodge Edge's spear, but then Benoit catches him in the crossface, and then
Yes.
Kurt Angle puts him in the
So
ankle
smooth.
lock. Yes, dude. Yeah.
A super finisher. Yeah, it was all the moves were great. One of my favorite aspects of this match is the Guerreros and their character work, because before the match starts, really, they're like talking shit to both teams, and then they just slowly scoot to the apron. None of them are legal, so they're like, that was kind of like the running theme, is like they would bark, but then they would back up and let everybody else fight, which ultimately paid off for them, I guess. So,
Yeah.
those dirty Guerreros. This is before Light, Cheat, and Steal, but I think we're approaching it. We're
heading there. It's like we're heading to that era.
Yes.
Watching back at though, like I feel like the Los Guerreros don't get enough like mention in terms of tag teams. You know, like all the maneuvers they were doing in terms of like just like cheating too. You know, distracting the ref and holding him up in the corner and doing all these like shenanigans.
God, how many times did Chavo hit people with the tag belt in this match?
Oh, I know he hit him he hit them like a couple times towards the end too, because that's how they end up getting the win.
Yeah,
it's like a distracted finish.
I think both eliminations kind of stem from that. So like Chavo hits Benoit on the back with the belt, and then he throws the belt to Kurt. So Benoit thinks Kurt did it, so that they're arguing back and forth. And ultimately, this allows Edge to hit the spear on Benoit to eliminate the team of Angle and Benoit. The crowd boos us pretty hard, by the way. I think everybody was really enjoying this team, which I can't blame them. It's like a fucking super team, these two.
Yeah.
But Benoit and Angle, they destroy everybody on the way out. They're like arguing, but while they're arguing, they're like suplexing everybody. Everybody's laid out.
Right.
So it gets down to the Guerreros versus Mysterio and Edge. And ultimately, Ray hits the 619 on Eddie. But then as Ray is on the apron, Chavo hits Ray in the back with the belt and knocks him into the ring. And Eddie locks in the lasso from El Paso.
Yes.
Which is like the forgotten finisher of Eddie. It's like almost like a lion tamer cloverleaf deal.
It's kind of like, how like Bret Hart twists the legs on his leg. So it's like he does that, but on his arm, and then puts him in the lion tamer type of thing.
Yes, it's badass.
If that makes sense.
It's badass.
What a name too, Lasso from El Paso.
The lasso from El Paso, man. I mean, I don't know why he never. It's kind of like an awkward looking move, I guess. It looks like it hurts, but I don't know. But that's enough to give the Guerreros the win, and we got new tag team champions here. So a lot of flip flopping with these tag belts. Only a month into the titles existing, but I mean the talent in this match. I mean, it was an awesome match, and always love watching any like version of this match with any of these people.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's like 5 Hall of Famers in there. And all of them except for one, Chavo, becomes a world champion.
Okay, I thought you were saying Chavo was the one. Or is Chavo not the Hall of Famer?
No, Chavo is the Hall of Famer, but there's one that's not going to be a Hall of Famer.
Rey Mysterio. He's too short.
Right. Yup, it's him. Yup, it's Rey.
His son's gonna eclipse him in everything he did. So he's probably everybody's gonna forget about Rey.
Right.
Just talk about Dominic. Yeah. No, you're right.
Before we go in, there's a couple of things I want to mention too. Is that like when they were getting to the finish, it's like I think they wanted to set up Eddie in the for the 619 on the other side of the ring, but then they realized that's not where it's supposed to be. So then Eddie, because he's a genius, he like oversells that like slingshot, and then he like kind of like makes that momentum to go to the other side.
Yeah, no, I noticed that too. That's I guess that's really only the only clunky part. That's kind of why I said it earlier, because there are a few like missteps towards the end, but I think it played out okay, because like you said, Eddie's a genius and he knows how to make the most out of that. So good stuff. But
Eddie, man, legend.
Enough about that nonsense. We got Chris Nowinski to talk about. He's out here. I don't know if you heard, but this Nowinski fella, he graduated from Harvard,
Yes.
and he comes out there. Doesn't have a match. He's just out there to talk, I guess. He says, because we're in New York, obviously, MSG, shout out.
Mm-hmm.
And Nowinski's like, hey, you guys, you might have a lot of money, but you can't buy intelligence. Just like the New York Yankees bought all those World Series. That's your local team. And then calls everybody stupid. Then out comes some Mattitude, some version 1, slapping tornadoes on his way to the ring. And Matt's, first of all, I don't know if you knew this about Matt Hardy. Not only does he like his house at a toasty 75 degrees, but he also loves low-fat chocolate milk.
Yes.
So just kind of...
Those are what I miss, man, of Matt Hardy version 1 is like little factoids. he enjoys mac and cheese, whatever. Like there's like a whole bunch of them that like come out, you know.
Dude, this might be my favorite version of Matt Hardy. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially the intro. Remember the intro was like early, like it felt like you were downloading like Net Zero for the first time.
How did it sound?
It sounded like you were downloading
like the typing, right?
Yeah, the typing. Yeah. It was like, you know what I'm saying? You log in, you know what I'm saying? You get the dial-up internet or cable modem, whichever, you know. And then like it had like the little screen, you know.
It brings you right back. Like you're downloading something illegal off of LimeWire.
Yeah.
But Matt's out here and he's telling Nowinski that people in New York, they're not stupid. They're losers. And then they go back and forth. By the way, JR and King on commentary are hilarious here because they know how shitty this segment is. And they're like, somebody get the hook. Or it's like, can this be over? Like they were just responding to their questions in the promo. But ultimately, this is all leading to the debut of the big bad Booty Daddy. Scott Steiner. Fucking the alarm or the police sirens, whatever it is, go off. Holla if you hear me. Out comes Scott Steiner and just suplexes the shit out of both Matt Hardy and Chris Nowinski. And does some push-ups, flexes his biceps. That's really all you need for Scott, right?
He comes out in the gladiator, I'll never forget that, the gladiator look, the helmet, a huge pop,
the headdress.
The headdress, yeah. And I can't remember too, like, because I didn't look back, but like, were they teasing him, or it was kind of like people knew?
Yeah. No, they were. It was kind of weird too, because I was watching the Raws and the SmackDowns. So the whole thing was, Scott Steiner has signed to WWE, but what brand is he gonna sign with? So that was kind of what it was. And they had little vignettes and stuff. So yeah, it was announced basically, but it wasn't announced that he'd be on this show. But I feel like everybody knew. But yeah, I feel like, would you say that this night was his peak in WWE?
Man, see, it's funny because like when it first happened, I'm like, okay, it's Big Papa Pump. They're obviously, happy to see him, and it's like crazy. Mm-hmm. But like he goes into having a storyline with Triple H right after this, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what killed them. Like they built them up too quick. I think if they were slow and have him have a couple of jobber matches and then lead up to it. But yes, this time right now, and then I think until Royal Rumble is peak Papa Pump, sadly. Doesn't he end up doing stuff with Test too? Like he ends up being in a tag team with Test?
Yeah, they have like a feud too, maybe. I don't remember. Yeah. But yeah, he's definitely involved with Test a lot. Because like it's after the Triple H thing, I don't really know. I can't remember anything that he did of significance. I don't think he was on WrestleMania, if I remember. So
no, I don't think so. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's not. I'm
forgetting. I don't think he was.
And then I know that him and Triple H have some weird like things up leading to like they have the pose off? Yes, they have the pose down. Yeah. Gosh.
They had an arm wrestling match. They some weird stuff. And then Royal Rumble, it's like a DQ finish, and then I think they maybe have a rematch at the next paper. I don't remember, but yeah, it's none of the matches were good either. I think Triple H might have been injured or something. There was a lot of sure. Maybe
Well, did he have like some type of egg injury? I don't know. I can't remember, but
yeah, you know what? That sounds right. Actually, I think Scott Steiner did. Yeah.
okay,
So
okay,
maybe just unlucky, man. I don't know.
yeah,
But then so Scott Steiner's here, and after that, cuts to Shawn Michaels backstage. And I think it's whoever, Terry or whoever coach, is going up to interview Shawn right before the Elimination Chamber match. And as Shawn starts to talk, RNN interrupts. It's a breaking news announcement. We got Mr. Randall Keith Orton here, who is currently on the injured list with a like a separated shoulder or something. And he's given us an update on his rehab. He said his arm was getting sore on the airplane, so a sexy stewardess gave him a pillow. And that was it. So, do you remember these? Because he would do these on Raw too.
I remember them because they would come up randomly, and like it would be a countdown too. Like I have such and such days until I recover. You know.
Yes, or it'd be
Right?
like I'm 32% healed. I was 31% last week, and that's a whole percent closer to being on your TV screens. It was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. It was like whatever. You could tell then that Randy Orton was going to be like kind of a big deal at that time. You know.
Yeah. I mean, because when he first injured his shoulder, they did this whole thing on Raw where he came out on the stage and announced it. And at that time, I don't think it was supposed to be like a heel thing. He wasn't supposed to be a dick. Like he was literally just cutting a promo, but the crowd booed him out of the building. It was like in Canada or something. So it's, that's what they do. But I think that's kind of what prompted this idea to just have him random. Yeah, those fucking Canucks, man. But yeah, I thought, we're almost at Evolution, but in the meantime, I think it's a little fun little thing for Randy to do.
Yeah.
But speaking of Evolution, we got the leader defending his world heavyweight title in a little match called Elimination Chamber, the first ever Elimination Chamber. He's defending it against Kane, Booker T, Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, and Rob Van Dam. Man, I first of all, I missed this chamber, like this version of it.
This version of it? Okay.
Because I feel like the modern one is so like sanitized. It feels very like too futuristic, where this one just felt like a chamber, like a prison,
Right. I think too, like the new one, it just looks it's kind of weird. This is gonna be weird to say, but it looks too safe.
Yeah, the padding on the which I
Right,
get.
yeah.
But it's like at that
And it's
point, just
like-
don't have chamber matches.
Right. And it's kind of at the same time too, it's like you're not hiding the fact that it's padding either,
Right. Yeah. Give
It's
it like
kinda
a
like- it's
pattern.
kinda like,
Give it like
okay.
a chain link pattern.
Yeah, like make it look, like we're supposed to think it's metal, or use the same thing, use the same material, but make it rubber instead of like chains,
Ooh. That's actually genius.
Right. Like hide it somehow, like use the same structure, because this structure just seemed menacing too. Like it just seemed like more of a threat, like you really have to try to survive the chamber.
Yes. Yeah, because like in this match here, like somebody will get thrown over the ropes from the ring to the outside, and it looks devastating.
Yeah.
Or like the most recent one, Austin Theory got F5'd off the top of the pod.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm sure that's not the best to take, but he's landing on padding. So it's like, how bad could it be?
Exactly.
So there's just a level of danger, I guess, that's lost from this match. But man, this is it was the first chamber match, but I think to this day one of my favorites. What about you?
Yeah, I have to agree. I don't think of this chamber version, I don't think any other chamber was really good other than this one. Even some people argue that the New Year's Revolution, the one that John Cena where Edge cashes in. But if you take away
Yeah.
the cash in, like the match isn't that great either.
Yeah, that was a weird,
You know?
like Carlito and Chris Masters were the final threes. Like, are any of these guys winning?
Right, and that's funny too because unlike that match, this match, a lot of the guys in there were all contenders at some point. You know,
Yeah,
they were all like legit in the hunt of the title.
yeah, and because I've watched this show before, but not with the context of like the build up to it.
Yeah,
And I've always had the impression that it was like obviously Shawn Michaels. It was like either going to be Shawn or Triple H winning this, and I guess
okay,
you could still say that, but like this is still fresh off of Katie Vick, and Kane really hasn't gotten his comeuppance yet.
Yes.
Booker T was really hot. Like he
Yeah.
had a lot of momentum.
yep,
Jericho's there. He probably wasn't going to win. But he had Saliva, playing him to the ring, which is something.
yo,
Another
I
one?
want to know how much they paid Saliva to do 2 songs, man. Like,
Come on,
They
man.
do
It's
2
Saliva. What else
songs.
are they doing?
Ooh.
They had free time.
They're like, okay, not only are you gonna play at the restaurant, but you're gonna play Jericho's theme music, which we could barely hear, by the way,
I mean, it's probably for the best. But no, actually, I actually thought King of My World was a pretty good.
It was okay. Okay, yeah. I mean,
I
Saliva's
thought
good.
thought
Yeah.
the studio version of the song, because he came out to it a few times, like in the build up. I was like, it's kind of a bop, but the live version was weird.
Right.
Coming out, but I get it. And also, we'd be remiss if we didn't shout out the video package before this match. Probably
Oh,
my
dude.
number one video package before a match here.
Okay. Okay.
Of course, you
Okay.
got Always in the background. It's just the various, how all the webs have weaved throughout all these 6 guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What would your top video package be? Just off
I
the
mean,
top of your head.
definitely, My Way is up there, right? My Way
Right.
is up there.
Of course.
You know what? The video package for I don't think this gets mentioned too much, but the video package for Triple H versus HBK for SummerSlam. I know that they didn't have like
Yeah,
a rock
yeah,
theme
yeah.
music, but the video package I thought was really compelling for the story.
Right.
This is not bad. This one is not bad. Yeah, I gotta say, I think the Rock Austin at 19 was also pretty good too.
That's always a good. Oh yeah, that one's a great one too.
Yeah, and then maybe
Uh,
Angle Brock for 19 also
I can't
was
remember that
also
one.
decent.
Was there music? Reenact it for me, why don't you?
Just like that.
I mean, you look like Kurt Angle, so
Yeah.
it works.
Should I just get like a weird fade to look like Brock too now?
Yeah, at least the velour jumpsuit, the Team Angle deal.
Oh, dude, Team Angle? Yo, okay. That was
Whew,
a time.
we're almost there. I think
Dude, we're
that's,
almost
like,
there.
very
That
soon
was a
after
time.
this.
That was a time. No, but definitely, those two I just mentioned, definitely for video packages
Yeah.
and packages in general.
Well, you're a big package guy, because that's what
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
knows about you.
Mm-hmm.
Just package.
Fed sex.
Yes, absolutely. But speaking of which, so the match gets underway. Eric Bischoff comes out and explains the rules, which it's always kind of fun in hindsight.
Oh,
because
dude,
you
you should reenact that, like how he showcased how the steel is.
15 miles. He has a steel pipe. He's banging it against things really gently for some reason. I don't know. It's a piece of shit.
And why does he have a pipe? Like, why does he have a pipe just to have a pipe?
Bro, you don't carry around a pipe in your jacket at all times?
I mean, I have one in my pants.
Right. Well, I don't know. Never mind. But
I don't know if it'll make
Yeah.
a clink sound like that, but
there we go. Okay, so you finished the joke that I started in my head.
hey, that's right. That's how we do it. I start, you finish. That's how we do it here.
And then we both finish. So that's where we're at. Speaking of finishing, speaking of fluids, Triple H is bleeding within like 30 seconds of the
Yeah, I
match
forgot how
starting.
that happens.
I think he just gets ran into the
Oh,
walls of the
yeah.
cage. I guess it's putting over how to, because this is the first time this match is happening. So like putting myself in the shoes of somebody watching this for the first time. Like, you don't know what to expect. You don't know like the danger that's involved in this match and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
So him bleeding right away, it's like, oh shit, this is because we're coming off the Hell in a
Serious.
Cell too, so they got to top that, and it's the whole thing. But yeah, RVD and Triple H started out, and at some point, Rob's getting the upper hand, and he goes over to Jericho's pod and flips him off, and then goes to climb on top of the pod. But that's when he finds out that you can reach through the ceiling and grab people. So it's a funny moment where Jericho pulls Rob's legs through it and fucks him up. And Jericho is the next to come out. So him and Triple H naturally team up on Rob. At some point, Rob gets thrown off the top rope into the cage wall, but then Spider-Man's.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that's happened a few times at this point, but again, first time watching this, like, oh shit, that's a thing that's possible. That's crazy. Booker T comes in next, cleans house, spin-a-rooney, and it's at this point, everything kind of breaks down. Triple H gets knocked to the mat, and Rob Van Dam is up, and he goes to the top of the pod. He sees Triple H on the mat, and very timidly does a Rob Van Dam because he's like hunched over because it's not tall enough.
Yeah.
And then he very awkwardly jumps off. It's not a 5-star. It's a 2-star frog splash at best.
At best.
But lands knee first on the throat of Triple H. I forget what the exact injury was, but I know he went to the hospital right after this match.
Yeah. I forgot what part of his throat that he crunches. What? Pause. But like, yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy that he was able to finish this match. I mean, this is pretty early into it.
And it's like okay, I think RVD said that he tried to just be like, I'm just gonna just land like forward on him because he couldn't do the frog splash, right? But like at some point I don't know, I guess when it's happening you just can't do anything about it. But like he had to know that he's not gonna land it the way he wants it,
Yeah. I don't think it was, I think I remember reading or listening to someone, like it wasn't his idea to do this frog splash up.
Okay.
But, they didn't commit to it enough, or maybe he did too much, whatever it is. But yeah, Triple H, you can immediately see he's like kicking the mat. He's grabbing his throat.
He's like grabbing his lungs. He's like, he's really damaged. I think at some point when that happens, he kind of goes to the corner to kind of like get out of the view, and just so the wrestlers could kind of like have to basically call an audible and start doing stuff.
Yeah.
I think RVD gets knocked. He gets eliminated right after this, I think.
Yeah. Right after this, Booker T comes off the top rope with a missile drop kick and eliminates Rob Van Dam, which feels weird. That's almost like, was that an audible?
That's like Victoria's suplex. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay.
So many
like
weird
Booker
finishes.
T, missile drop kick. Okay,
How would you rank his missile drop kick?
You know what? At that time, Booker T got some height with that missile drop stick. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in WCW, I thought because he's a big guy. He's
a big guy.
And he can move, so I always enjoyed Booker T. Shout out, that's my mom's favorite. So,
oh, that's nice. He's a lovely man.
He is.
But yeah, the Booker T eliminates Rob Van Dam with a missile drop kick, and then Kane's in, cleans house again. Everybody's getting choke slammed. Jericho gets thrown against the cage and then thrown through a pod, which. First time that's happened, obviously, and
it's supposed to be bulletproof, but okay.
It's not Kane proof, right? I think it's what they said.
Something like that. Yeah, exactly.
And didn't like Braun Strowman just like punch the pod open at some
point,
or something like that, or Brock Lesnar maybe.
Either him or Sheamus did something like that. Where they just like knocked it out. Yeah, right?
You're right. I think Sheamus did the pro kick to the pod. Oh, man, I forgot about that. I'm pretty sure it happened. In my mind, it did. But So Jericho gets thrown through the pod. He's crawling out on the inside of the ring. Kane and Booker T are going at it. Jericho hits Booker with a low blow from the outside. Kane hits Booker with a choke slam. Jericho hits the lion salt on Booker, eliminates Booker T. And right after that, Shawn Michaels comes in. So now we're down to 4 people. And Shawn, I feel like he comes in hot, but he gets knocked down like right away.
Yeah.
By
Like
the
he
way,
comes out doing like his entrance, and then he just gets knocked out. You know.
do you think if he did not have a Dutch boy haircut, he would have had more success in the beginning here?
Dude, like I remember when he came back from that like long hiatus to WWF TV, and he had that Dutch boy haircut. I was like, okay, maybe this is something he's trying. But it's like he could have grew it out, you know, from the time that he was on TV and chose not to.
Yeah.
So I shame. And then not just that, we not only did get a Dutch boy, but we get like the weird ass shitty ring attire. Right? Which
You don't like his tights in this match?
the weird incomplete, like it's on record saying that like this was an incomplete ring gear, right? And that like his designer, you know, just wasn't finished. But it's like, okay, well, that I understand that, but like, what the fuck was it supposed to look like, though? You know, like if you look at it, like I know that you're a Shawn Michaels fan, right? Just like I am, right?
Sure.
And it's like, when you look at Shawn Michaels' tights from the past, like he has the hearts like on the legs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like when you look at this, it's like that's not gonna be that version because there's like an H on the side.
Well, it's supposed
right?
to be HBK, right?
Right. It's supposed to be like HBK, but is it supposed to go down his leg or it's supposed to go, you know, sideways? Because like there's like two weird looking hearts in the middle, like on his crotch and on his ass.
Well, they're broken. You see, he breaks hearts. I don't know if you heard. It's Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah, but the design is literally broken, though. You know, that's.
Well, maybe that's just, he's just so meta with it. He's like, oh, that's how we're doing. Did those tights ever get finished?
No, see, there was in any game, like there's a game, I forgot what game. I don't know if it's bring the pain or Here Comes the Pain, one of those, right? For PS2.
Yeah. No, Bring the Pain's right.
Shout out. I think one of that gear is in there, but it's also not complete. It looks just how it looks here. So they never actually finish it.
I totally forgot about that, but you mentioning that, like immediately I remember. I think it is Here Comes the Pain.
Okay.
I don't know why that was their choice, but it was. But yeah, I guess it paid off for him in the end. But yeah, you either have the Dutch boy haircut or the shit pants. You don't have both at the same time because that's too
It doesn't
much.
have both. But I'll tell you what, Shawn Michaels made it work though. You know.
If there's anybody that can make it work,
right,
it's Shawn Michaels.
right, it's Shawn Michaels.
And so Shawn's in, gets kind of shit on him a little bit in the beginning. Kane choke slams everybody in the match, goes to Tombstone Triple H, but H fights out, and Kane runs into a Sweet Chin Music, and then Triple H hits the pedigree, and then Jericho hits the Lion Salt.
What
So
a
everybody,
combo.
literally everybody hitting their finisher on Kane to eliminate the big red demon. And so now we're just down to Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Chris Jericho. And naturally, Jericho, Triple H team up on Shawn Michaels. They beat up on him for a while. And eventually, of course, they turn on each other for whatever reason. It's like, why not just eliminate Shawn Michaels and then just keep
going?
But Jericho ends up locking the walls of Jericho onto Triple H. But then Shawn, out of nowhere, with a Sweet Chin Music to Jericho, which I thought was the way he came like out of frame and hit him with it was perfect. And of course,
Vintage Shawn Michaels.
Vintage brings us to the final two. We got Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. Lots of fighting on the grates on the outside. I think doesn't Shawn get catapulted through the pod again?
Yeah, yeah, he gets catapulted. Yeah, I guess it's not Triple H proof either.
Nope. only Triple H and Kane though. Otherwise, bullets too. So those
Bullets
three things.
too. Hey.
But yeah, so Shawn fights back. Eventually, is able to hit the elbow drop from the top of the man. Triple H had just got his throat crushed by Rob Van Dam, and now he sees fucking Shawn Michaels going back up there. He's like, "Oh, nerds, not again."
See, I think people always say people say Triple H is a great wrestler. I agree, he is a great wrestler, but I don't think they really give him the respect for like wrestling hurt at these times. Like, he remember when he tore his ACL the first time, and he still like finished the match and did the pedigree on the table.
Yeah, his quad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, the quad. Right. And then this match, like, basically cannot breathe. Right. Like, he's like basically gasping for air. He's doing pedigrees, like drop toe holds. He's doing like suplexes and catapulting, like taking another elbow from
Oh shit. But no, totally agree. But at least Shawn does not land on his throat.
Yeah.
Which is all you can ask for.
Right.
And Shawn hits the elbow from the top, goes to hit the sweet chin music, but Triple H counters and hits the pedigree, but is slow to make the pin, so it's only a 2 count. Triple H goes for a second pedigree, but Shawn backdrops out of it and hits the sweet chin music. Man, the camera flashes like right when he hits his Triple H, like that is just so good. Huge pop. Gets the 1, 2, 3. Confetti. Just nutting all over the place. Shawn Michaels wins the world title right after he was paralyzed a few months earlier from Triple H. What a story. Shit pants and all. Can't ask for anything
that's what
more than
happens
that.
when you're born again Christian. Things happen for you,
Okay. I mean, he never won any other titles outside of this, so maybe maybe it was the Lucky Tights.
Maybe it was the Lucky Tights. It's weird though, because I feel like the theme of this pay-per-view is winning by like not your finisher, right? Like the back body drop, I mean, sets up the sweet chin music. Like, has that ever been done before? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
like that was enough.
I thought you were
to
about
like
to say Shawn. You remember when Shawn used to have like the backdrop or the like the back suplex as his finisher?
Yeah.
That's how he should have won this.
Well, that's how he beat Triple H. Kind of. He beat him like with a somersault flip. Remember in the SummerSlam?
Yeah, it was. How did he win?
Like I think he was trying to do a pedigree, right? And he just like sunside.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. He like tripped him and did like the jackknife pin. Yep.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, Shawn's 2-0 against Triple H here, right? Hot off his return, but not super long lived. But these guys would be feuding for goddamn 2 years after this. So
yeah, a year,
at
right?
least. Well, like on and off for a while, yeah. But yeah, good shit here, man. Any other thoughts on this classic Elimination Chamber match?
Yeah, I think what's it called? There's like many reports saying that it was supposed to be Shawn Michaels coming out on the Kane spot. Like when the pods released open, like instead of Kane, it was supposed to be HBK, and then Kane came out last. Which like if you look it up, like there's a lot of places that say that, and to be honest, like you can't tell that they're messing up. Like that's not supposed to happen. What you think is like what you think is supposed to happen, because I guess that says like they're just all professionals, right? And then you're wondering like they're such professionals, like what the hell happened in that Brothers of Destruction versus DX match?
Well, when your face pops off, when your pec tears, when you're old, I guess unfortunate mishaps
just
tend
sucks.
to happen. It's crazy that Shawn Michaels was the only like one put together in that match.
Yeah, the one that hasn't wrestled for like what 7 years at that point, and like he's the only one that can like save the whole thing.
Jesus Christ, or at least try.
But I really like this pay-per-view though.
Yeah, no, like I said, one of my favorite, definitely one of my favorite Survivor Series, one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time, and yeah, Al Wilson, Dawn Marie are here too. It's only that only pluses it up. So yeah.
Sylvia, yeah, I mean, Sylvia. Saliva again is here. You know what I'm saying?
Anderson Silva's here. He knocked out Rob Van Dam on the way to the ring. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. But yeah, I think it about covers anything else on this show.
I want to ask you, what was your match of the night? Was it the Elimination Chamber?
That's a good question. It's weird because it's like hard to compare the Elimination Chamber to like the Cruiserweight title match.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably have to say Elimination Chamber just based on the novelty of it and how brutal it ended up being.
Right.
But
right.
I also really like their Cruiserweight title match.
Okay.
And the tables match. Actually, there's not really a bad match on this show.
No, there's not really. Even when you include the women's hardcore match, it's not a bad either. You know.
Yeah. What about you?
You know what? When I was young, yeah, the Elimination Chamber match was like the top. But now that I'm older, and now that I know what good quality wrestling is supposed to be, that 6-man tag.
That was fun. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's very on par with what's going on right now too. Like I feel like the Cruiserweight title and then the 6-man tag are like both hybrids of what ends up happening in today's like wrestling culture.
You're talking about the title match, right? Not the tables match?
No, yeah, not the tables match. Not the tables match.
Let's make it sure.
That's like more of an AEW dark type of thing, But like, but the SmackDown 6 and Jamie Noble and Billy Kidman definitely like those matches definitely are like on par with what's going on today.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, this show had it all. I mean, it had the brutality of like the hardcore stuff, the tables, the chambers, but also the work rate stuff with the tag title match, the cruiserweight match, the women's match is there too. Lots of again, got just out of character for WWE to have like such a high profile, like a women's match with a video package before it. Like they didn't ever do that. Then you have like the crazy swerve with Paul Heyman and the Big Show and Brock Lesnar. So. Some good shit on that. Good shit.
It was good. O2
don't miss. Well, they do sometimes, but not on this show specifically. Not a lot of GetCho moments. But speaking of which, the the GetCho podcast. From what I understand, you guys are on a bit of a. Well, this will be out like late November, so I don't know when you guys plan on coming back. But yes, Justin.
Yeah.
Once again,
by this time, we should at least have like 1 or 2 episodes up. Yeah, you can find me on the GetCho podcast on the Twitter, GetCho podcast on the Instagram. Yeah, man, this is great. You said this is gonna be around Thanksgiving?
Oh, somewhere around there, whatever Wednesday is around, like the last Wednesday of November, I think.
I feel like that's a tradition. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's going to be a tradition for now on. It's like last time we were doing Thanksgiving. Okay. This year we're doing Thanksgiving. Hopefully 2023, we come back and do another Thanksgiving-ish episode. So let's keep that going.
Ooh.
2 Filipinos
we'll talk
before your Thanksgiving meal.
Look at that.
Let's go.
Turkey, gravy. Oh, no, did I lose you? Did I lose you right at the end? I lost your video. Talk to me.
Did you? Hello?
Talk to me.
Hello?
I still hear you.
But you don't have the video.
God.
I can still see you.
Okay. I was about to say it. Okay. Show me, whip out your penis. And if I can't see it, that means that everything's fine.
Could you see any, like, a wave?
Do you fucking hear my cat meowing in the background, by the way? This piece of shit.
A couple, I don't know if I heard something, but I did hear something. And I don't know if somebody turned on the TV or, but it wasn't loud. It was like
I think it's either a cat. It's either a cat or somebody's being murdered. So maybe we should end the episode here, huh? It would suck to have my entire household murdered while talking about.
Oh yeah, that would be bad. And then this is like some weird lost footage with 2 guys talking about wrestling, and then the murder happens. Ooh.
Now that's a sitcom that needs to be had.
That's a sitcom, yeah. But you're gonna end the feed. Yeah. Wait, don't you have a joke? Don't you normally have a joke?
Yeah. I don't know. Do you have one?
I do have one.
Trying to think.
So please. I have one. Why do why does an orphan like to play tennis? Do you know?
Why? No.
That's the only way he can get love. What do you mean, the Thunderdome?
Once again, thank you to Justin from the GetCho podcast for joining me on this lovely, lovely journey of Survivor Series 2002. Go follow Justin and the rest of the GetCho podcast boys. All of that in the description. Check out their podcast. Why don't you? If not, I'm gonna give you a spanking. Check out my podcast as well. You know where to find all that shit. All the Apron bump on all the social medias. I don't have a hive yet. I don't anticipate ever having a hive, but we'll see. But follow me on Twitter. As of right now, that's where I'm most active, as long as it's still alive. And like I said, no more episodes for the rest of the year, although I do anticipate doing some sort of Q&A, fucking ask hardest part of the ring, anything. I don't know what I'm going to call it. But I'm going to tweet something out. I'm going to put it on social media. I'm going to allow you guys to ask questions for me to answer. If you want, you can even just DM me. You can, I think there's something on my website where you can like send an email to the gimmick. I don't know. But keep an eye out for that. Follow me on all the socials for all that. And yeah, I think that's about all Daddy has for you today. Hope if I don't talk to you, have a lovely holiday, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas. Are there any more? There's probably more. Someone's gonna get mad at me. What do the Canadians celebrate? Probably nothing. They're kind of a miserable bunch. Poutine is really a sack of shit. I like Canadians. I have a fair amount of Canadian friends, but your cuisine is a big pile of dog shit. I don't know why I'm ending this podcast by shitting on Canadians. I enjoy Bret Hart. I don't like A1 though, so it's kind of a pros and cons list. Maybe we'll create one of those one day. Yeah. I managed to shit on A1 in this episode somehow. But yeah. I already said that's all I got for you today. You understand. If anybody's still listening, I'd be amazed. You probably don't have access to the stop button. So I could really just fart into the mic for 5 minutes and you would have to listen to it. That's what some podcasts do. But hey, anyways, love you all. Happy holidays, everybody. Big smooches. Neuter your dogs. What did what's that old cocksucker's name? The Price is Right guy. Why am I blanking on his name? Bill. It's not Bill. Bob Barker. Neuter your dogs. Eat your vitamins, say your prayers. Squeeze my nipples until milk comes out. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I'm hard.
Yeah.
And your heart is talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing I guess. Let's get it started. It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing I